So we wanted to hear from two local New York City restaurant owners to see what they think. Joining us now, Melba Wilson, owner of Melba's Restaurant in Harlem, and Nate Adler, owner of Gertie's in Brooklyn. Welcome. We're glad that both of you will be here. Kelly will take part in this conversation as well. I'll get to the response of the mayor's office there and what you think of it, but I want to start, Melba, with you and ask whether you share some of Tillman's frustrations that you have not received any kind of guidance from the city as to what needs to take place so that you can open beyond the outdoor dining in a city where the mayor has said we want kids back in classrooms in September.
So, Tyler, this truly is a very, very difficult time for us. You know, the restaurant industry, we are the fabric of this city. We're the fabric of our community. We employ so many people. Right now, we have over 200,000 people out of work because we don't have indoor dining. Now, granted, we definitely share, the mayor's perspective that safety is a must. However, when you look at the fact that there are restaurants open up in other parts of the state, Westchester, Long Island, there are restaurants open right across the bridge in New Jersey and in Connecticut. And we have not just met the metrics, we have sustained the metrics. For the 19th day in a row, our rates have been lower than 1%. Gyms are opening, schools are opening. The restaurant industry is going to die as we know it in this city. How can we not at least open at a small percentage, even 50%? If not, we're going to lose a lot of restaurants in this city.
Nate Adler, your response there to what Melba said and to what Tillman Fertitta said in a city where restaurants and going out for socializing is really a part of who we are and what we do in this city. How frustrated are you?
Totally. Well, thanks so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here, Melba. Pleasure to be on the show with you as well. You know, as a native New Yorker, I definitely don't agree with the sentiment that New York is on its way out, but I do agree that we need a plan for reopening. I've been a part of an organization called ROAR, Relief Opportunities for All Restaurants, which came about in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic and the closure of restaurants that happened on March 16th earlier this year. And our stance and my position as the chair of the reopening committee, my stance has been, we are all for safety. We are all for enforcement. The last thing that we want is a second surge. And we do have to be super careful about that, because that is what is really going to put the nail in the coffin for a lot of restaurants. That being said, we've been given no direction and no guidance and no notice on any of the decisions that have been made thus far by the mayor's office, by the governor's office. And it seems like we have some infighting as well between those two offices, which is putting our industry at risk. What we would like to know is, what is the plan? If you're going to tell us, cryptically, the mayor said that we should prepare to not open our indoor dining until 2021. If that is actually going to be the case, then we need to know, and we need to fight for relief. If it is not going to be the case, then we need to know, as Melba said, what are the metrics that we are going to be held to that we can monitor so that our restaurants can reopen. We have been under 1% for the last 19 days. And my question would be, what is that metric that would get us to a point where the government would feel comfortable reopening our restaurants?
I think yesterday Tillman's frustration bubbled over there a little bit, and he was pointing directly, Melba, at the mayor. But what he has been saying for weeks now, Nate and Melba, is exactly, Nate, what you said. Tell us what the measure is that we have to achieve, or that the city and the epidemiologists say is safe, so that we can begin to come back at 25% of indoor capacity, at 40%, at 50%, or whatever. What are you waiting for? What's the big secret? That has to be terribly frustrating, Melba, not to know where the goal line is.
Tyler, you are 100% correct. And as Nate said, you know, my grandmother used to say, Melba, if we fail to plan, then we plan to fail. You know, this is not just my life. This is the life of my employees. This is the life of so many people around this city that depend on their jobs in order to feed their families. So for there to be an open-endedness, and the mayor has dined with us here at Melba's, so we know that he cares. He knows the importance of this. He knows that it's important, for my employees to know, how are they going to pay their bills? How are we going to pay our bills? The rent bills are still coming in. Con Ed, insurance, these are bills that still have to be paid. So we have 100% of the bills, fixed costs that have to be paid. However, while we're getting 20% of the income, and some no income at all.